I realized that I've never properly introduced myself on here, which is crazy because my lore is absolutely insane. So here we go. My name is Ani. I was born in the southern part of Nigeria in a small village called Obior to a mom who was 15. She had just turned 15 when she gave birth to me, but I wouldn't find out that she was my mom until I was about 12 years old, where I then subsequently moved in with her. And I lived in the village till I was about 3.5, 4, I don't really remember. Then I moved to Abuja to live with my grandmother. My grandmother's adopted two children, so my aunt and uncle, and then my mom slash sister, because the whole thing was that she was my sister. So I knew of her, I just thought she was my sister. And then the January I turned 6, my grandfather pops out of the clear blue sky and says, "We're moving to Dakar, Senegal." So we do, and by we, I mean me, my mom slash sister, my grandmother, and my adopted brother Jude. But the thing is that we land in Dakar, and this seemingly 7 foot tall woman greets us at the airport. Turns out that's my grandfather's wife. But that's funny because I'm on the plane with my grandmother, my mom's sister, and my adopted brother Jude. So that was a little bit awkward. And I'm going to speed run through my time in Senegal. I lived there for 6 years, and in the 6 years that I lived there, people just kept leaving. Obviously, my grandmother leaves first because the whole thing was really awkward. Her man is with another woman, and she picked us up from the airport. That was the whole thing. And then my mom slash sister leaves. At this point, I still think she's my sister. Every time everyone leaves, they are like leaving a note. So like I come back from school and there's a note of like someone dips. And then my grandfather dips in the middle of the night, which was interesting because the whole reason we were there was because of him. So all that's left is me, my adopted brother Jude, and my step grandmother, who, lovely woman, by the way, not really her fault that this whole thing happened. She kind of just was left to raise me and my brother Jude. The summer after I turned 12, my step grandmother calls me to the living room and she's like, "Yeah, do you know that lady that you think is your sister? Yeah, she's your mom and she's coming to pick you up tomorrow. So you're moving in with her." So I do. The next day she comes to pick me up, and at this time she was married to her first husband, who was an American diplomat and was finishing up a post in India. So we go to New Delhi for like a few weeks, and then we come to the US to get all our paperwork, and then we move to our next place, which is Kingston, Jamaica. So I technically live in Kingston for 3 years, but after the first year of living there, which was hell, I then go to boarding school in New Jersey, where I stay for 4 years. And then after boarding school in New Jersey, I go to Switzerland for a year for college, Lugano, Switzerland specifically. Beautiful place, horrible vibes. Long story. I come back to the US and I finish up university. I go to the University of Virginia, so I'm in Charlottesville for the last couple years of university. And then that's how I stayed in the DC area for that whole time, because I just went to DC for my first job. But that's a speed